That's Clone Force 99.
This is Wrecker, Hunter, Echo, Tech, and Crosshair.
Obviously, we are different.
We're all you're getting. Ha! We're all you need!
They call themselves the Bad Batch. Experimental Unit Clone Force 99. The defective clones with desirable mutations.
This is one meeting I don't want to miss.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Dad Batch Podcast, episode 87. My name is Stevie Kicks, and I am one of your 5 hosts today. And of course, with us, as always, the other Dad Batchers, your space daddies. First up, he's the real-life cross dad with a sparkling personality. It's Brian Cook. How are you, dude?
Sometimes be nice. I'm good. I'm here. 87. And there's
87.
two more episodes of the Bad Batch left.
It'll be good. It'll be good. You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. Ooh,
Yeah.
Is that another Wrecker shirt you have on?
No, we are wearing the OG today. OG.
Space Daddy.
Space
I
Daddy.
got the OG. I got the OG.
Oh, you got the OOG.
Okay.
This is
Ramey's
the
like, I got
the
a
outlawed.
plain orange. Oh yeah, the outlawed. It says Star Wars
Outlawed.
on it.
Star Wars.
Breaking the law.
I'm a rebel.
Next up, he's a specialty costume manufacturer and painter. It is Alpha Ignition himself, John Rodriguez. How are you, man?
Yo, good. How are you? Hi.
Good. Good. I'm a little under the weather, so excuse the tone.
Like
You know,
snot.
I don't mind.
Oh yeah, I got tons of phlegm.
Well, at least it's above the neck and not like below the waist, right? Like that would be bad.
Phlegm below the waist would be terrible. Yeah,
Well, not phlegm, but sick below the waist.
terrible.
You know, poop. You know.
How are you, John?
Good. Thanks, Joe. Good.
Good week.
Good. Yeah. it's
How
been
many
chill.
how many goals are we up to so far?
Oh, I had a really good game. I play Wednesdays. That Wednesday mornings and Friday mornings. And this past Wednesday, I played pretty well. People were like, "Hey, your fitness is up." I'm like, "Oh, is it?" I'm just running. So the thing is,
Wow.
no. The thing is, I eat like a pig during the week, so I rely on these days to run, and I'm not running a lot to be better or to I'm just running a lot to try to burn off what I ate so I can do it again the next
You
week.
can fit this taco in your mouth.
Right. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your fitness.
So yeah, it's been good. Yeah, footy's good. I did have, I guess it's a workbench thing. I'll talk about that during the workbench. Yeah, I'm good.
Next up, this is my partner, Squirts McIntosh. But you can call him Ramy Shanaday.
Nice. We're back to that.
I was
Cool.
gonna say we've
Cool.
been away from that for a little
Yeah,
while.
we went away for a little while.
So that's when you're sick below the waist. It's squirt.
And we brought it full circle.
Wow.
See what I did there?
Good.
See what
I
I did
see
there?
what you did there. It's
Yeah,
a circle.
It's a circle. It's a
No
circle.
sharp lines. A
No
circle.
sharp lines. It's a circle.
Coming in hot, Ramy. I know that you were like trying to get to the pod, so thank you for making it tonight, man.
I made it. I left work like ridiculously long ago, and it still took me forever to get here. So I made it. But
Have you guys like ever been late to pick up your kid from school? But like
Nope.
super late?
Not super late.
And
but I've been
not for a lack of trying, because where I live, it's like the only highway to get to Coachella, which is starting tomorrow. And it's so annoying.
Stay
because
home, dude. Just don't leave.
It's just the park the highways.
Dude.
So what normally takes me 15-20 minutes to get home took me an hour and 40 today.
Dude, it's so easy. Call our buddy Ryan, who will send you one of those red lights that you put on top of your car.
And then stop when you're stuck in that traffic and just run up to a car and just be like, "Let me get the drugs," and then just get the. Just
Well,
get
you
the
took it to the
drugs.
next
And
level.
then get the drugs and keep going.
And
I was
then-
talking about-
yeah, because they're going to Coachella, right?
Because
Yeah.
they
I was
knew,
talking-
yeah.
I was talking about just partying the cars, but you went to the next
Yeah,
level.
he's just trying to get home. You're trying to party.
Yeah.
Turn
I
around,
thought you were going to
sell
tell me
it,
to.
I
I
mean,
thought you were
flush it
going
down
to tell
the
me
toilet.
to John
run.
McClane it and be like, "Get out of the car! I need to borrow your car."
and drugs, you mean like Tylenol?
Yeah, Advil.
Yeah,
Um,
like from a drugstore.
He's
Done.
got,
Suzette,
he needs some
like,
NyQuil. He's
Feds and
Is
whatever to-
Metamucil? No, that's fiber. Never mind. That's
That's
not.
fiber. That's what you were drinking the other day.
that's
Oh yeah, definitely. Fiber.
Speaking of Metamucil, finally, he's the cyanoacrylate adhesive of our little squad. It's Joe Lara. Happy
Yes.
birthday, Joe.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Where am I, everyone?
he's
What's-
over the hill,
What are we
and far away.
That's a good impression of the president.
Oh,
It do be. His name is Joe. He reaches over to grab his lightsaber. Little do we know. That was your cue. Cool.
yeah.
That's awesome. Wow.
The fact that we've got that sound effect on a button ready to go.
It's like priority 1 button for Steven right now.
It's got to be top 3 for sure.
It's got to
Yeah.
be top 3. Yeah.
How was your week, man? How was your birthday?
It was good. It was low key how I like to keep it. Complete opposite of last year, which was just 100 miles an hour. That was fun because it was so unique, and you just have, when you're in that environment, you have to go. But yesterday I was in a controlled environment. My lovely bride said, "What would you like to do today? Would you like to go eat here? Would you like to?" I was like, "Nope." So did a little bit of work, and then had some dinner and some drinks with some friends, and that was it. But good times. Nothing crazy.
Was it? I have crap memory, but did we not realize it was your birthday last year until we were done with the day?
Because he wouldn't tell. I think he didn't
'Cause
tell us.
I think you couldn't tell because I think we got back to the flat and we were like, "Wait, it's your
Wait,
birthday!"
yeah.
And then we were like busting out the whiskey, and we had like such an awesome day. Like,
Dude,
Yeah,
that's
he
when
tried to
we
keep it
met.
a secret.
That's when we went backstage. I talked
Yeah.
to Jen.
oh,
and
we were
talked
riding high.
to Brad and met all the writers and pictures
Dee.
and
D.
Yeah.
Michelle.
Dee and Michelle. Dude,
That's
that was
surreal.
so sick. That was fun.
And
Good
even if we hadn't had done that, everything before that was like
Incredible.
Amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
shooting
Yeah.
with Ryloth, like
Oh man, yeah, that's right. Ryloth was there.
all the stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah, he-
pretending like we were paid to be there.
Just walking in. Yeah.
10 feet away from the actual venue. Oh my gosh. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm doing well. How about you, Steven? How you doing, man?
I'm good. I had a pretty busy week. Let's see. Watched Godzilla.
Oh,
Versus,
Oh,
is it
yeah.
Godzilla? It's not versus. is it?
Godzilla X.
X.
What is X?
X
It's like
means
all the-
also like together.
It's like all the I know
It's
like all
not
the
plus.
It's like a hug.
all the
It's-
hip brands are putting that now.
It's a collaboration.
It's like
yeah.
a collab. Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw it too, Steven. I saw it too.
What'd you
You
guys
did?
think? Both of you. What'd you guys
Oh
think?
man.
I loved it.
Yeah. Was it like
It's-
ridiculously good?
I-
It was go
Like
ahead,
good
Joe.
in a ridiculous way?
So the way I sent Steven a message and I said, dude, you're it's like if Noah and Ollie, the kids, wrote the script to the movie. It-
That's awesome.
If you gave crayons to the
The
kids and he said,
most
"Hey,
epic-
make a movie with Godzilla and King Kong,
And they're
just
fighting
go-
a bad guy or something.
So it's
And make-
Transformers.
make all the sounds with your mouth, do all that, like, and then smash, yeah,
I'm in. Count me
record it.
in.
Just hit record on your iPhone and then give that over to
Like,
Hollywood.
There's I won't get too spoilery on it,
Sounds
but
good.
there's a part because in the trailer and the toys they show Godzilla with like this glove, this
The
metal
yellow-
glove.
yeah.
There's a part when they're giving him the glove, they're like, if only we had some sort of weapon to arm Godzilla with. They're like, well, Luckily, we prepared for something like this a long time ago.
It's like it was too on the nose a little bit.
Yeah, but
Oh, dude,
but
man,
it
there was
works.
an answer
It
for
works.
everything.
But that's the point. Yeah, it's Godzilla and King Kong. It's not gonna make sense. Just
Yeah.
of course
None
they
of it
did. Of
would.
course they had the
Yeah.
glove. Yes. Ching, put it on. Go.
I mean, I'm a sucker for Transformers. Like, dude, robots transforming, fighting other robots. 2 thumbs up. I'm ready to go.
I
So-
mean, if you can suspend your disbelief and just let go and have a good
Perfect.
time, you'll
Yes.
enjoy the movie.
Perfect.
Just don't get bogged down with the science of it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's what watching Monarch is for.
That's what I
Yeah.
heard. Yeah. Like don't try to make it make sense. Like it's just
Mm-mm.
enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
And
ridiculous
so
and good.
So I saw that last Friday, and then over the weekend, I'm gonna go down my list of stuff because I have such a huge list of things to talk
Do
about
it.
here.
Do it.
But so over the weekend, I for the first time ever, and I'm a huge wrestling fan.
Mhm.
Grew up with the Attitude Era in the late '90s with The Rock and Triple H and the Corporation and Degeneration X and all that. And so for the first time ever, I saw my first WrestleMania. Like
Oh, you went.
I just
No, you
watched
ordered
it
it.
on the thing.
Oh.
It was in Philadelphia, but like when I was a kid, we could never afford
It's like a
to-
pay-per-view, Brian.
Yeah, because it was always
Right.
WrestleMania was always on pay-per-view, and it was
They
like
were free when I watched them.
it was like 100
Did you have the little
50
filter?
It was
bucks or whatever.
expensive. It was expensive. Yeah. I remember
So
we never watched them.
so this weekend it was on Peacock on streaming, and
Oh.
I was able to watch 2 days of it with my son, and he's totally into wrestling now.
Oh wow.
And so like I got my son next to me watching it for the first time, and then I'm watching it, and they brought all the wrestlers back from my generation.
Yeah.
Like it was Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, but then like The Rock comes out, and then John Cena comes out, and then The Undertaker comes out. Dude, I was standing up, and my son's looking at me like, "What the
He's
heck
like,
is
"What's
going
wrong with you?"
on?"
How much did The Rock
but that
get
was
paid
fun.
to do that?
Well, dude, he's an owner of TKO now. He's a board member, so it's like he
He
has
still
to
got
make
paid.
sure
Yeah.
sure that the business is doing good. And, I do like how TKO they own WWE, they own what is it? MMA, UFC.
The UFC bought them.
Well,
I think the
TKO,
UFC bought. Yeah.
TKO owns UFC, and then they bought WWE.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
But dude, it's just like now they have such a huge talent pool to like mix from, and just all kinds of stuff. So I'm very excited to see where it goes in the post McMahon era, because they had all their troubles with Vince McMahon, and now they're moving past that. So that's cool.
He's a stand-up guy. He's not really anything weird.
Let's see, and then I saw the new X-Men 97 episode. I don't know if you guys are watching X-Men.
I
right?
haven't
seen
watched
the new
it yet.
episode yet. Yeah,
It's on the list.
but I heard it
Uh,
was really good. Mm.
Last night's episode of X-Men, I was talking to some of my comic book nerd friends. We all agree that it's probably the best episode of the entire series ever. Like,
Wow.
it is that good.
I want to
And-
check it out.
And it, like, they're not like, my friends aren't into too much into like the live action, the movie stuff like we are. They're more into like the actual comic books.
Yeah.
But I was trying to explain to them, like, this episode was the beginning of the bridging of the cartoon into the MCU live action, and they were just like, "What?" Like,
Oh, cool.
see,
now
I'm
they're trying to
excited,
get
yeah.
into
Those are short too, right? Little 20, 30-minute jobs.
Like
Yeah.
25 minutes, 30
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah.
Cool.
And then I saw the first episode of Fallout last night.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. I've never played the game, so I don't know how it is, John.
So me and Brian used to play back in the day. First, it was I played Fallout 4. That's where I came in. I knew the games were before, but I played Fallout 4 for a while. Then me, Brian, and a few other people were playing Fallout 76, where it was online. So it was all that Wasteland stuff, but online. So you're together, whatever. It's pretty fun.
That's not what I told Steven. Well, I told Steven it was fun. I said it's fun, but like you spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours like building up your base and your ammo and whatever, and then you go
Yeah.
fight for like 5 minutes and you lose and you lost all your stuff, or you go to bed and you wake up and you got robbed.
Yeah.
Like
we weren't playing it right. Maybe you never know. Who
I
knows?
don't know.
but it was fun.
That was a time suck to the extreme.
But go ahead about the episode, Steven.
No. I'm a total outsider to the entire Fallout universe. I know it has a huge following, but
It's cool.
just after watching that first episode, I'm hooked on the series.
Dude, the first few minutes was already like, what?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Because and just to say too, because we did play, it is very accurate or close to it's very loyal to the source material. Cool. Everything you see on screen so far has been right, like quote unquote right.
Yeah, I'm hearing from a lot of like video game fans that like the Halo show sucked, like in that regard. But this show's getting it right. Yeah. I reposted on my Instagram today that we have mutual friends of people who actually worked on the show who built the knights, the knight suits,
the Brotherhood of Steel. Yeah,
I want one. I want to build one.
The T-61 armor.
Yeah, those things are freaking cool,
dude. We saw that guy at Dragon Con that had that full suit.
Yeah, he had remember that. The guy that had the whole thing opened up by itself. It had like hydraulics and stuff.
It was like a legit mech suit.
Legit. It was actually a suit. It was not metal, but it was all like whatever, a cage.
I think there was a lot of metal in there. I mean,
not
skeleton though.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It was insane.
Yeah, I want to build one. Did anybody watch anything else?
Dude, I watched like 2 weeks ago, and I think I forgot last time we recorded, The Accountant. I believe it is on Netflix. It is Ben Affleck.
Oh.
And it is Ben Affleck is autistic or on the spectrum or something. But he's like it's like John Wick, but with more story and less killing. It's called The Accountant. It's actually like a nice popcorn.
Wait, is that the one where he's the accountant for the mob or something?
Yes.
Okay, I've heard about that.
Yes, and he's like an assassin. He's John Wick, basically. It's John Wick, but with more story. It actually, I was like...
And where's this on?
I think it's Netflix.
We'll add that to the list.
I was shocked too because I started watching it. I was like, okay, we'll see. And then like my wife Tori sat through the whole thing, and she would get up for sure, like, and be like, "This is stupid." And she didn't. She got up and watched the whole thing. So it's pretty cool. The Accountant.
Nice. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with Invincible, but they have episodes every Thursday.
I'm waiting for the finale.
It's been you're gonna watch it all at once.
I'm gonna binge it. Yeah.
It's good, man. Oh,
it's crazy. It's
the
last episode was a lot to digest. There's a lot of info there. You might have to watch it a couple times, but it's all.
Yeah, don't skip anything.
I'm not. Yeah. Don't skip anything, and I'm not gonna say anything either. Just watch it.
Yeah, that's good.
Right on.
I finished Masters of the Air.
I'm almost there,
dude. Good, right?
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Yeah,
Bloody 100.
If you like Band of Brothers and that, the Spielberg and Tom Hanks creations that they're doing, it's sad, and but it's a good way to keep people informed, especially younger people that may be far away from history. It's like the things that we take for granted. It's a nice reminder. You might want a bowl of ice cream at the end of each episode, but besides that,
you need something happy. That's for sure.
Yeah, go get a Happy Meal or go get an ice cream cone or something. But yeah, it's good. It's incredible.
I like it. I need to finish it. It's a show you have to sit and watch too and pay attention.
You do that with all your shows, dude. You never finish it.
I just get. I can't.
I
don't watch TV regularly.
I don't watch TV regularly, but there'll be a moment where, like, oh, this week I can watch something for about an hour. I'm going to watch.
You can get one episode in, right?
Well, that's why I can't have 20 things. I mean, the Bad Batch is on. I mean, shoot, it was Wednesday. It was yesterday at 4:00, and and something came up in our chat, and I was like, oh crap! And I was like at work, like
Yeah.
I was at the store working, and I watched it while I was sitting there.
Raymond, you good?
I am. Yeah, I've been busy. I like I'm like Joe. I don't watch a lot of TV. I watched Bad Batch. I got that one watched. I do need to catch up on Invincible. So otherwise, yeah, just I've been working a lot. Been driving back and forth to the office this week because we had executives from out of town were in and visiting, and so we wanted to make sure that the office looked nice and populated since usually there's nobody there.
So you've been sitting in traffic.
Yeah. So, but I'm done with that for this week at least. Got to do it again. Got to do it again next week.
Right on. We're going to be talking about some stuff tonight. We're going to be working on stuff that we've been working on. I think Ramey's got some news for us later. And of course, we're going to review the latest episode of Bad Batch. And then I think there was some new trailers for some new Star Wars stuff that we'll probably take a look at.
Star Wars.
And I think that, and then yeah, that'll be the show. We make sure if you guys are watching on the live stream on the YouTube, we've got that super chat button available for you. And thank you to everybody for tuning in. Our listeners literally make the show possible. So if you'd like to show your support for the pod and rep it with the finest of Dad Batch apparel, pick up your brand new Crosshair Space Daddy shirt and stickers at thedadbatch.com.
This garbage is nothing like clone armor.
Looks a little tight on you, old man.
Yeah, at least I know how to wear it.
That's right, everybody. It's time for the weekly workbench. All right, gentlemen, who is working on what?
Oh, that's me.
Right guy.
You can kind of, it's very blurry behind you, but you can see this Mando that I've been piecing together with some parts that I had and some that were printed, and I don't want to take my headphones out and go grab it.
Ivory.
It is all black.
Be a silhouette.
All I see is a black blob.
Live together in
I see
perfect harmony.
I'm gonna have a speaker and just stand next to Joe whenever we're around each other.
Side by side on my piano.
We're gonna sing Ebony and Ivory. It's cool. It's been fun to make. It is all black, and I'm trying to juggle with how you make it not look just like a. I mean, Imperial Crosshair in our picture with Dee and Michelle and all
That's
those.
what you're gonna look like.
Or my helmet's on. You can't see me.
That's what you're gonna
Right.
look. You're gonna be just a figure.
You can't prove you were there. We were there.
He
there is
wasn't
No,
there.
there's
Yeah.
no proof that you were there.
He
There
wasn't
is a
there.
purpose to that, right? I am hid. I am the darkness. I am the night. Okay, like I'm a Batman. I'm Batman. Basically, I'm Batman. So come to
Think
accept it.
Vader, right? Because Vader's black. Like if you think of Vader, you think black. But
Yeah.
when you look at the costume, there's like,
Yeah.
what? Like probably 5 different shades of black,
Oh, yeah.
silver,
Black,
gunmetal,
Yeah.
you know, matte versus shiny and all that.
You
Work
barely
that,
adopted
work that into the
dark.
costume.
I was
I had some
born in
really
it.
fun learnings messing with the paint process, which I think for people, as we always talk about the workbench, we talk about ways we do things, and I painted it flat black, and then hit it with some sandpaper, kind of scuffing it up, breaking up some parts, and then I gave it a black wash, which sounds weird, but it kind of, it affects the paint pattern and what's going on. And then I've had this like piece of fabric, almost like a rag, full of fuller. How do you say it? Fuller's earth. In it, zip tied, and it's like a little pouch with full of stuff in it. And I've used that to like weather things. I'll beat it against soft goods, and it gets this dust powder on it, dirt. Basically, it gets dirt on it. So I black washed the armor pieces and then hit it with that, and it really like changed everything and gave it dimension and texture, and it's got like a super cool it's still black, but it's faded, and there's just so much layers to it now. and I was super stoked on that. And then I let that dry, and it was like covered in dirt. And then I just gave it like a wet wipe in a few times.
Just knocked off.
I wipe it down a little bit, look at it, wipe it down a little bit more, and got the pieces to where I want it to be. So I'm like 90% done, and I had some pieces printed already, so that was cool. I'm gonna hopefully use. John's got a shoulder bell for me and a helmet. I'd want one of his helmets for it too. But the whole thing, the whole concept too, is kind of like it's not my interpretation of Crosshairs and Mando, but it's like inspired by. So almost kind of how like Joe's is white. It's like tech kind of. He's got like a little Bad Batch like.
I got the binos with the little lights and everything.
Yeah. And you got the homage to the Bad Batch on your thigh. Like I'm kind of doing the same thing. So I had this shoulder belt. You can't see it, but I had this shoulder belt that had like a stripe down it that John had given me. It was all lumolustered. I painted that stripe red, painted it black, and I was like, okay, it's kind of like Crosshair sniper arm, but it's Mando.
It's like a little one.
And really, I built the thing because I wanted an excuse to have Fire Puncher. So it's like a sniper Mando. So because I can have Fire Punchers.
Why not?
Mando, like
they exist. There isn't just one, right?
Exactly.
Canon.
So yeah, it's been kind of cool, and it's almost done. It's crazy. It wasn't that much work. So because I've had all this stuff sitting around, and I sold a bunch of costumes. So my mannequin was free because I sold Pre-Vizsla. Rip. Shout out to the new owner. It looks good on you. I saw the picture. But yeah, I got this Mando. So
have you given any thought to your helmet yet?
I'm gonna probably do the same as armor. So it's just gonna be black, baby.
I would do whatever helmet you choose. I would put the crosshair rangefinder on there with the little.
That's what Alpha Ignition Gaucho Props offers, a very nice Mandalorian helmet, and he does have a rangefinder option, which is a custom ask. But luckily, I know him.
Yeah, it's not custom. I only have a few left, so
okay. Well, there you go. It's a limited option.
It's a very exclusively limited thing.
It's an exclusive limited option. So yes, rangefinder. I'm not gonna do the crosshair on the eye because that would just be way too literal.
That's too much.
But
yeah.
Yes, too much.
Put it on top of the head when you go like that.
Yeah,
on the back.
Just on the face. Just.
I gotta tie my shoe.
Just a big one. Yeah.
Right in the dead center.
Which is the funny thing is I'm not much.
Is it a bird?
When it comes to
put it on your butt. Put it on your butt plate.
No, absolutely not.
Raimi.
Absolutely.
My. I do declare.
Raimi. Saucy.
I am not much of a planner of the paint, and I actually started painting like I was copying the paint of Crosshair onto the armor, and I had like a red stripe growing down the middle and some other stuff going on, and I looked at it and I was just like, I hate this, and I just painted all over it and like started over because I'm visual. I can't plan stuff out and think about it. I have to do it, look at it, and
that's
go,
the flow.
Yeah, it looks cool. No, I don't like that, so
organic.
But yeah, within like really a couple days time, I have a Mando almost. He's 90%
Dude, that
there.
Came together fast.
Super fast, like scary fast.
Because if you looked at what you were talking about in our private chat, you were like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I need to build something, and all of a sudden, boom, there it is.
In like 2 days, it was like that. Yeah. He's like, oh wait, I have everything. Boom.
And it's cool. I used I had like a bunch of parts from a realistic clone that we used for Levi's Omega concept armor.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And I used the elbow armor as knee pads to kind of like give it this like clone kind of vibe to it. So, which Mandos, they find stuff, they make stuff, they,
whatever's available.
You don't need to, you don't need to make.
And it's post amp, so you're really far removed from.
Yeah,
you found
where there's kit and gear. Yeah, you just got to use.
Found a bunch of dead clones, and he, helped himself.
They ain't using it.
Rough. Dang. Yeah, that's it. He's the dark.
All right. Well, I for anyone that can see the screen, I made this little guy. because I still don't have my armor that I should have had mailed to me. Unfortunately, the
Is that a 50% scale?
yeah, this is a
What
half
is this?
scale.
A helmet for ants?
It's a
Half?
helmet for ants. Yeah, this is a
Half?
half scale. Yeah, which is weird, right? Because it doesn't seem like it's half,
No way
it-
does that look half.
right? But it is 50% of the file.
Helldiver's helmet for those that
Yeah,
are
it's
listening.
the BO1 tactical helmet. It's like the default helmet. And they all come with several options to paint them. So whatever, mine's painted the way I'm gonna paint my helmet. But I hired a company to print me the masters for the molds I'm making to sell it to people, and they accidentally shipped my stuff to Northern California. Yeah, they're like, here's your tracking number. By the way, we messed up and sent stuff to Fairfield or Fairview.
Oh yeah.
Fairfield.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Fairfax?
Yeah. Huh. No, Fairfield. It's
Fairfield.
but they know the person that they accidentally
So-
shipped it to, right?
Well,
There's
well,
something-
they didn't
something
preface
fishy
it with
here.
that. No, something weird happened. Yeah, because they're like, sorry, we sent it to this person, and I was like, what do you mean? Like, and that was all the info they gave me. They didn't tell me they knew them. They didn't tell me they were in contact with them. So I was trying to get in contact with FedEx and be like, yo, one of my packages got sent somewhere else, and they're like, what's the address? So I give them my address, and they're like, well, that's not the address we have. I'm like, well, I don't know what address you have. Like, it doesn't say on the tracking. It just says it's in Fairview or whatever.
Damn.
And then he hits me up again. He's like, oh yeah, I know them. Like, they're gonna ship it to you. But he was trying to do something weird, like, can you pay for this and I'll pay you back through PayPal? I'm
No.
like, no, dude. I'm like, no.
No.
I said no. I'm like, just ship it, please. Like, get it over here now. Like, fix this. Like,
Yeah.
I do what you got to do and fix
That's
it. Don't ask
weird,
me for
dude.
money. Yeah, which was super sketchy. But the thing is, I've used these guys like 10 times,
Yeah.
so it's like
Yeah.
I don't understand exactly.
Why he's asking for money?
I don't think it's a sketchy angle. I just think he's not able to. He's from Singapore, so I don't think he's able to access some sites he needs to locally here.
Yeah, and he shipped it to the wrong place on accident.
Yeah, he shipped it wrong. I'm like, and I was telling him, I'm like, bro, tell the guy you shipped it to ship it to me, and you pay him, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
And sorry for the inconvenience, and that's it, and bada bing, and you're done. And for whatever reason, he's like, can you make an account? I'm like, no, I'm not. No. Just get it done, dude. Like, just figure it out.
Dude.
Yeah, well, and I think he's just trying to, like, he's like, I'll fly there if I have to myself. I'm like,
He's
"Don't
trying to
fly here."
simplify it. He's trying to simplify it, but he needs to fix it. It's not on you.
Yeah, and
It's
I
not
don't
on
have
you.
money to give him, and I don't, whatever.
I mean, even if you did, it's not on you.
Regardless, yeah. But I told him, whatever. Anyway, so he's like, I got it taken care of, whatever. So apparently, there's a label that's been created. We'll see if it arrives this weekend or not. But hopefully, it does, so I can send it off to my buddy Jeff Curtis, and he's gonna make some molds for me. And we're gonna move from there.
Damn.
Yeah, it's gonna be super crispy. But I need it here first. I want to have it here and put it up against myself and see, because I'm kind of a mannequin size. Like, I'm like just about 6 feet and just about 200 pounds. So it's kind of not the average size, but it's the size of whatever the model that most people use to scale armor. So if it fits me, it usually fits everyone. So I want to see how well it fits me, which it should, in theory. I just haven't tried it yet.
And you have a helmet for a monkey.
For a monkey?
Yeah, that will fit on a monkey.
It's just a widow
or a
hell.
cat.
It's a widow hell diver. It's just a widow hell
A little
diver.
guy, yeah.
Cute little widow hell
your
diver.
cat.
It does look cool.
Killing widow bugs.
That'll fit your cat.
Yeah. She'll kill me, but
Tiny little bugs. Tiny little bugs.
she would survive, but I might not. But yeah. Anyway, and that's it. I think. Yeah, that's it. That's it for me.
I'm up. Okay. First, and I've got two things I want to show off. So, we had been kind of talking about doing like Bad Batch inspired Mandos, and like, as coincidence would have it, there was files showed up online for an Echo inspired Mando helmet.
So good.
So I printed it.
Of course you did.
So there's the helmet. You can see, like,
Oh
it's
my
got the detail on the front, and then it's got this and the forehead, like the top of the dome is all very much straight off of Echo, and it's a separate piece, but the headset.
I was about to say, does yours just clip on there?
So I want to try and figure that out and see if I can actually make mine integrate in with this. But
That's
Dude,
pretty
that
cool,
looks-
dude.
That's
I like it.
That looks
And what's
amazing.
cool is it is not a direct interpretation. I mean, it is like a vibe, but not.
It's very much a Mandalorian helmet.
That's
But it
But with
looks like
similar
Echo.
venting. Yeah.
Looks like a heavy kind
It's basically a Mando running
It's like
down
a
the street that just smashed into Echo, like head first. Boom.
Just
And that's what you got.
atoms merged. No, it looks like a medieval like or something.
a little bit.
Yeah, there's a
with
little
the
bit of
glare.
that vibe to it.
Oh,
Yeah,
it looks
if
good.
you had that big
Oh, man.
like a knight's helmet. Yeah,
Kind of like an
Yeah.
armor vibe. Yeah.
Roman or I don't know.
I could put
Spartan,
the-
maybe
the thing on
Spartan.
backwards and-
That'd be cool. Spartan. Yeah.
Spartan.
Greek. Yeah.
So we'll see. I'll tinker with that over time and see if I can actually make something out of it.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
I kind of low key want to go back and reprint it a little smaller because it's kind of big. And my Echo helmet that I like so much is a little smaller than all the other ones that I've seen.
Yeah.
And so I put this on and I'm like, there's like room for like a refrigerator and TV inside this thing. It's crazy.
Well,
So
you're reprinting it. So
yeah, no, right.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I gotta share my screen.
aren't you building like 2 other Mandos too?
I don't even get me going.
He's trying to catch up to Luke.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he's got years before that. So
I don't know,
Okay.
man. Raimi will gen something up. Oh, look at that.
Meanwhile, I have been.
Are you
working-
done yet, Raimi?
Does it
Are you
fire
done
real
yet?
real energy
Dude,
darts?
Dude, don't even get me going on that.
Does it even work?
Why isn't it?
Why isn't it done yet?
Why isn't it
Why
done
isn't
yet?
it done yet, dude?
So I have been working on this, and I do have many hours in this. These things don't, especially if they've got this much detail, they don't just model themselves. So this is Omega's cross or energy bow, or is that what she's
yeah,
got a name for it? It is scaled. It is exactly the same scale as a Stormtrooper E11, which I can prove because there's the E11 files.
Oh wow.
That like everybody prints just for scale reference.
Of course, you know that.
So I used that to make sure that it was kind of appropriate size. Honestly, like I think the one that's in the show is ridiculously small, and I didn't want to go kind of that small on it. But
Like it's
So
more like a pistol type of thing rather than like
it's,
a
I mean,
carbine?
Echo holds the thing, and I mean it's tiny. It's like he's holding a jumbo pencil or something. It's crazy. So I made this a little more the accurate size, or what I thought would be practical for people to actually carry around. So this will be 3D printable. There will be some minor mechanics. I haven't sorted out whether I can make these swing open and move in conjunction with pulling back the handle, but the handle here will swing down, and like this little energy thing in the middle like moves inside the track with that. I think at a bare minimum, what I'll be able to do is make these pop open, like they'll be spring loaded and kind of pop open and lock into place, but then you'll have to like manually bend them back. But they are hinged in the model.
That's cool, dude.
It's awesome, dude.
Is the barrel hollow?
Yes.
So
you can
like
see
you could
Twizzlers.
insert
Fill it with
electronics.
Twizzlers. Twizzlers, dude.
Yeah, I haven't cut out the insides for like where electronics would go. Like the barrel is hollowed out, and I can do the
Twizzler dispenser.
section analysis on it here.
We need to get one of these in the hands of was it Sabers Forever, John?
Oh yeah, John Rossi.
Yeah, get him to put
Get it to make noise and light
Oh,
up.
yeah, that's a lot of room.
put the little you know like on the Kylo Ren hilt, how it has the little blades on the side. What is that? The cross guard? Is that what it's called?
That's a cross guard, but all that is a smaller version of the big blade. It's just NeoPixel. You
Right.
literally make it the size you want it to be.
Imagine
And
if
that
we had
same
one of
strip-
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those little ones, but in green on the end of this thing.
You don't have to imagine it. You could really do it. Like it's
Yeah,
very,
I
very
mean,
doable.
And I modeled out the one's going to be weird because but I like model like you could, if you had like translucent green, like I've got pieces that you could put into it here that would work. And if I was to go through the steps to like open in the file, rotate these pieces out, you can see that the little cross thing or the bow piece of it like could go in there too. But I was thinking, oh, that'd be cool to have like EL wire in there or something. But with all the motion and everything, it's going to be the kind of thing where if you want that opened up effect and like have it lit up, I don't know how it would still close with that component in there. You'd have to take that out and then fold it up. But I am going to make it so that it opens and closes. So it may not behave exactly like the one on the show, but it will move like it. It just might not be all automatic.
Oh, look at that! It's already good enough. I don't
That's
think
crazy.
anyone's gonna say
Print it.
Print.
Run it.
Print it.
After your new helmet.
I got all
Print
the big pieces in place now. I've just got to go through and get all the fit and finish done on it and clean it up.
And Ramey, if you didn't do all that extra mechanical, I mean,
It'd be done by now.
You could keep it simple, just 2 configurations. It's open and then closed, right? Like people can do that manually.
Or just have the wings.
Yeah, it's fairly,
you know?
yeah, it's fairly easy for me to like kind of do something sort of spring loaded so that like the pieces will pop open and stop when they get to the right spot. Because what actually happens is, all right, fine. You guys are killing me. If I swing one of these arms out, give me a second. I'll do the left one.
I mean, the fact that it's not hollowed out, ready for electronics and stuff is like, dude, what are you even doing, dude?
Shut up, dude. So
yeah, should have been done yesterday.
So these will swing out 80 degrees specifically is the magic number. But then not only that has to swing out that far. And then this piece here has to swing back. I missed some pieces. I've got those as separate pieces.
That's so cool.
Dude, when it moves, it goes.
Come on, the target's so small.
Transform.
This piece will also have to swing back 80 degrees. So it's not like the whole thing swings straight out 80 degrees. Like it has to do that.
To get the look.
That's where the
because that's what the energy, like the bolt goes between. So
yeah,
like it's 2 hinges that have to swing at the same time at the same angle like this, and this piece has to stay parallel to that. So at one point I was looking at like having some kind of like gearing between the two. I'm like, that's such a tiny little channel in there. It would be
why not just do it so it's
delicate.
You just manually have to put out the pieces and then put out the little circle and that's
manually.
Because I'm an overachiever.
Isn't there like AI or something now where you just like click on this like a picture of it and it just makes it? Like,
yeah, can I put in a prompt?
Like, I mean, isn't there like a program where you just literally take a picture and you're all?
We'll get ChatGPT to just design this for me, I'll just delete this and we'll just let
this work.
Ramey's like, I just spent like 40 hours making this, but
that thing is sick, dude.
That's so good, dude. That's so cool. I am not printing that for the record.
But yeah, just for people that like, one, I'm not the one that's gonna like get it out there the fastest and put out garbage because I'm putting my name on this, and so I want to make sure that what I put out there is cool. And two, like this stuff takes time. So especially if you want to do it right. So
the Omega bow, her first bow, those files that I used to print, and I didn't even utilize the functioning that they added to it. I mean, those files are crazy, and you're doing a similar thing. It's so much.
That's my workbench. That's all I've done.
Boom.
That's all. That's all.
That's all. No biggie.
That would take me a year.
Just engineering,
and it would suck if I tried to do
just
that.
changing the game. That's all.
So I started messing around with the Boba kit. Ramey recommend, because when I got my helmet from Redman, it was super smooth, no texture, no Boba texture. But he recommended this stuff, Super 77 multi-purpose adhesive. And
on everything.
Yeah, and so I sprayed it on the bucket, and it was kind of tacky. And then he's like, "Hey, now spray what is a layer of primer on top." And yeah, so now I have this like perfect texture that it's legit, you know. And so I'm pretty excited about stepping into painting soon. So that's cool. And then so I have this. I talked about this, I guess, last week. The armor that I got from Redman, which is the polyurethane Boba Armor.
Beat it on your head.
There you go.
That's
yeah. So it's there's this unique double ridge that, you know, typically when you look at armor, it's vacuum formed, and there's there's a return edge, and so you just kind of trim it to return edge, and it's nice and clean, and it sits super close to your body. But this has a double edge, and I was like, I wonder if I should trim that, because that doesn't. I'm not sure how that's supposed to be. Thank goodness I emailed Danny Redman, who made this armor, and he put in bold caps like, "Do not trim that." And then he gave me a clip from the show that shows that's how Boba's armor in the new show. It has two edges. I don't know. It's kind of wild, but it's gonna look sharp. It's gonna look really good. And yeah, man, like I'm so glad I emailed him, because I was about to take a knife to it and just go, and I would have jacked it up. So I'm glad I double checked. But yeah, that's it. Just kind of slowly putting stuff together. And then I got David Meganeth out there helping me. He's got some Imperiflex. I had a spare rubber knee, and I wanted to experiment. So I have two knees. One I'm gonna throw down.
I hope so.
These aren't even Boba knees. These are just extra knees that I had.
Oh, I hope you have two
rubber.
knees.
Yeah, but he's gonna put Imperiflex on one, and then the other one I'm gonna not put any, and I want to put down the Montana colors and just test both of them.
Just see what happens, yeah.
Just to see what happens, let it dry out, and just kind of shake it up, beat it up a little bit. And if I don't need to add Imperiflex, I won't, but I'm thinking
the Imperiflex is for the more for the metallic.
Yeah, well, I need to put a metallic though base coat on tops, because he's gonna have scratches. Not as many as Return of the Jedi, but
sure,
it's
there, yeah.
It's there, and yeah. So I'm gonna experiment a little bit, but
cool.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got going on.
I love the process.
Yeah,
the calculated process.
Yeah.
What about you, Steven?
Boba rubber, double ribbed for Joe.
Sure. Joe's accuracy.
Let's see.
Which brings me pleasure.
Okay, so I'm gonna go down my list here. So I printed. So I got a used. Actually, it wasn't even used. It was brand new, but it was secondhand. I got a secondhand leather belt for my wife's Mando. It was a Bo-Katan belt, so we just took off one of the holsters, and it came with all metal parts, but except for the front buckle, which was weird because all the other parts were metal, and so the front buckle was just printed in like PLA, and it didn't look the best. So I resin printed a new belt buckle, and then I tried this technique that I saw on Adam Savage's Tested, where you cover whatever piece you want to look like metal. You cover it with aluminum foil tape.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is the buckle. And
that's tape.
That looks great.
It looks okay. So the front part looks good.
That looks amazing.
Yeah.
Looks pretty damn good.
But I'm not happy with the way it came out on the other pieces.
The texture.
Can you rip it off and do it again?
Yeah.
Well, there's like buttons or something underneath there. It looks like, and then
cut around the buttons, maybe like X-Acto,
right?
X-Acto around the button.
You know what? This was like the third iteration, or my third attempt at this, and this was the nicest one that has come out so far.
Oh.
So by the end of it, I just threw my hands up and I ordered the all metal one from JJ Industries. I was like, why am I?
Work?
I mean, I must have wasted probably, I don't know, a full bottle of resin trying to go at this so many times, and just the time and the frustration and everything. It wasn't worth it when JJ's got one for like $68, and it's all metal, and it's his is metal and rubber, so that it actually flexes. So I mean, it doesn't get better than that. So I ordered one of those, and then for my Mando, my custom Mando, I emailed 850 Armory, and I was like, hey, my armor parts, like, we're good to go. The jetpack, okay, like, please send me an invoice. Still no invoice. But he's constantly posting that he's working every day on stuff. So I'm just hoping that I'm in the queue. But for my Mando, I reached out to Mandalonics on Instagram. His name's Hugo. And he makes these, you guys will probably all have these, but these are these little computer chip screens that go in the gauntlet.
I had one of those.
He's our guy, friend of the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, he has an Etsy store, and I know, like, having sold on Etsy before, Bad Batch skull on there. Just
Bad Batch skull. Mine's broken too. I gotta figure it out.
But I hit him up directly because I know, like, Etsy always takes a big chunk of commission. So I just hit him up directly, and he had one. I hit him up probably 2 weeks ago, and 2 weeks later, it's in my doorstep. And this thing came from like France.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he's in France.
He hooked us up with the Chrome Tono, dude. He's the guy. And
it's crazy you have yours there. I don't think mine's the same maker, but I had mine in my other Mando and I took it out when I sold it and it stopped working.
Oh no.
I think a wire came loose or something. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. He does custom stuff.
He can fix it.
I might have to.
He does custom stuff. Like, he can, if you tell him what you want, he'll write the script.
Yeah.
And then he included some stickers in his package for us.
He's we met him in London. Him and his crew.
You're right.
Who was it again?
Hugo. Mandalonics.
Mandalonics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Met him at
he wrote us a little note to the
he's
pod,
super nice. Yeah.
and I wanted to read it to you guys. So it says, "Thank you for reaching out, Stephen. This is my standard blue hybrid display. I am sure it will suit your Mando well. Keep the boys together, please." And then he wrote "please" in bold letters. "You are the only podcast I listen to. Long live the pod."
Oh, shout out, homie.
Love and onions, Hugo.
Oh,
Hugo.
Hey, you can love onions. That's so.
Yeah, he's super nice guy. When he reached out when we were putting Chrome Tono 2 together, and he's like, "Hey, I can send it. Let me know who the winner is." And he hooked it up, dude. He's rad. Super nice guy.
And then the last thing I did, so I've been thinning out my collection. I've been curating my collection, like my personal collection of props and stuff.
The curator.
And so I have like a bunch of Disney Galaxy's Edge things that they just don't fit the collection anymore, aesthetically. So I started like just thinning those out, and then it is hard for people who don't live in the Florida or Southern California areas to make it to Disney. So you got to take into consideration for someone, let's say in the Midwest or even overseas, to go to Disney. They've got to book a plane ticket, they've got to book a hotel, they've got to book the actual tickets to the park, parking, food, and then once you're actually at the park, then you got to buy all the stuff.
Spending money.
You gotta, so when I sold him everything, he actually hit me up and he was like, "Do you have any more stuff?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, well I have the original Calicori from when Galaxy's Edge first launched, but that's in my Thrawn collection. Like, I'm not selling that." And then he's like, "Do you know how much they go for?" And I was like, "Yeah, they go for about this much, but according to eBay prices, the last one hasn't sold since like summer of 2023. So over a year, they haven't, not one's come up on the market." And I said, "Well, it sold for this much." And he was like, "Okay, I'll pay that." And I was like, I can't say no to that price. So I immediately boxed it up, sent it out. And then as soon as the PayPal cleared, I started printing resin printing a Calicori.
Nice.
Oh, nice. That's resin
for my Thrawn display. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then what I did was, when I got the files, I completely reworked them because I had the actual official one to compare to. So I made them the exact same size and just adjusted the proportions of everything to be exact.
That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it for me.
That's a lot, dude. That's cool.
Yeah, a lot of stuff we're working on.
You have a lot going on. That's cool.
Hey, Remy.
Sorry, the mute button. Hey, Steven.
We're being hailed. This encryption's new. This might take a while.
Okay, so Star Wars Unlimited, it's the trading card game that Fantasy Flight Games does. So they've announced, they teased an image, and we're getting the Bad Batch in the trading card set coming in July. And we got the first. How do I do this right? There we go. So we got a teaser for the first card. So it's Hunter, and before the show we started looking at this. We're like, wow, wait a minute, that like I know we say that like, oh, they look like, Hunter looks like John, but no, that really looks like John Hunter, and I mean, we're not saying that they copied John's picture, but we're just saying
no.
That's freaking John, dude.
It's a
that's you, dude.
Pretty close, but not.
Corporate wants you to tell the difference between these two pictures.
Yeah, that's the same picture.
That's
a cool card though. Really cool. I like it.
So this will be interesting. They finally got my attention with this. I haven't been doing these getting these cards, but
John, when was that picture? When was that picture taken?
2021.
And when will these cards come out? Now?
It's not even out. Not even out yet.
That's you, John.
The series 2 is not out yet.
2021. Yeah.
Who knows?
Royalties.
We need.
I mean, they could have pulled it from the cartoon too, maybe.
No.
I guess, yeah.
Nope, not an option.
I mean, yeah. The source
it's only John.
It's only John.
I don't think I made up that pose. Yeah.
So and then so again, those are coming in July. I didn't say what day in July, but my guess is Comic-Con. Like it'll probably be day and date with some event at Comic-Con. So my guess is there'll be a Fantasy Flight panel, and they'll drop them like during the panel or something like that. So, Steven, do they do like electronic versions the way Topps does too, or are they all physical cards?
They are physical cards. And it's a game just like like Magic the Gathering or whatever. But
is that the first edition or whatever?
Yeah, it is. Yes, they just released like maybe a month ago, less than a month ago.
And now they're doing the second edition with Hunter as they're
adding the Bad Batch. Yeah.
So Steven, how will this work? Will those cards be kind of blind bagged in with all the other, and like you never know what you're going to get, or will there be a series that we know will contain the Bad Batch? Like, can we go in and at least be like, all right, well, if I find series 6 or whatever it is, I know that there's a chance I'll get, or are they, or is it going to be just amongst the masses, and you might get a Chopper and then maybe a Hunter and Princess Leia and whatever.
So each this first edition is called Spark of the Rebellion. So they haven't released the name of the second edition yet. It's probably going to be called like, I don't know, the Clone Wars or something or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it'll have the Bad Batch in it.
And how many cards are in each series?
I think 200 and hold on, it says right here 252 in the inaugural set, and then I'm sure that each additional booster set it's probably less, maybe like 100, but it's fun. It's really fun. If anybody wants to play, come play with me, please.
Next up, so we've got we literally like the day after we recorded last week, we got an announcement from Star Wars. So there's a new animated show coming on May 4th, 6 new shorts in the vein of the Tales of the Jedi, but this one is Tales of the Empire. So we've got a trailer here.
Wait. We don't want to get this blocked, right? So do we need to talk over it so we don't get YouTube?
Yeah, we can mystery science this.
We're gonna try.
Or you know what? You can just like narrate it, Joe, for the
You
audio
don't want
listeners.
you don't want me narrating this thing. Nope.
All right, here. Let me
we'll talk
let
over
me
it.
get this. I'm gonna
talk
put
a
volume
lot.
low on it. I'm gonna put the volume low on it, and then you guys, we can all narrate.
You
So
just
that's
gotta play. You gotta play
that's-
the Thrawn lines specifically at full volume. Everything
That's
else can be
Thrawn
down.
and Morgan, right? Those two right there. The back end.
Why do you seek imperial favor?
This is the part that got me super interested was the Morgan backstory. Because I
Yes.
didn't, when this first came out, I didn't really pay attention to it. And then when I watched this, I got super stoked because I always thought that brief moment we had of her in The Mandalorian was awesome. And
No
her
explanation.
her having this backstory is cool because she's like a cool character.
Yeah.
I'm here to present you with an
And to well,
Is that Barrett or not?
And now
Barrett?
it's the Inquisitors,
what's-
right?
One of the
No,
Inquisitors.
what's her name?
She-
Is it Barris?
Barris.
That's Barris.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Inquisitor that you see going to get Barris is one of the ones that was in the Kenobi series.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Well, that last shot, right, is a bunch of them.
Yeah.
The Grand Inquisitor.
Dude,
Yeah,
it's cool to
it-
see Grand Inquisitor in this style of art.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, not Rebels. Yeah.
Not Rebels art, but Clone Wars art.
There's Barris. Yeah.
You're
Yep.
getting a little bit of Barris, a little bit of Morgan, and then
So sick,
some
dude.
Inquisitors.
And it
Yeah.
gives more dimension to the character of Morgan, because before that, she appeared randomly in The Mandalorian or whatever, and then in Ahsoka randomly, and it was like, what?
And her fighting over that water right there, that's her spot from
Her and
Mandalorian,
Grievous,
right?
man.
Yeah, her
When she
little
took
compound.
on Ahsoka.
Dude.
Yeah. So in Tales of the Jedi, it basically was 6 shorts, 3 episodes of 2 arcs. One arc followed Dooku, and the other one followed Ahsoka. So this one's the same thing. 6 episodes. I'm guessing 3 episodes will follow Barris, and 3 episodes will follow Morgan Elsbeth.
Dude, this part right here. This part right here. Yo, new master.
And then we see the big baddie himself.
My man.
Oh, hey, is that
And
the?
it's
Is it,
Marok. Yeah.
It's the Inquisitor from the Ahsoka.
Marok.
Back and pause. Can you go back and pause?
Merrick.
Merrick's so
Merrick and the
Merrick's
one that
there.
deflated.
Marok.
yeah, and the one that deflated in the other Tales of the Jedi. Which I have as
Yeah,
master.
Yeah. The one that in the
It's like
Ahsoka novel.
like a whoopee cushion. Went,
He went.
Vader, my man.
Bades.
are we still online? Did we
Because
get
in the
shut down?
comics, he
oh,
tears
are
them
we
apart.
online?
We are still.
Did we figure
are-
out
we are
how to
online.
circumvent the algorithm?
We just got to talk on it.
We didn't
Ooh,
get cut off.
That's a nice helmet. Is that the final paint job, really?
This is my final paint job.
Wait, so you're not doing?
I made
Wait,
mine
I'm
look more
confu-
like bone than metal.
Oh,
I didn't.
okay,
I
cool.
John and I have a different opinion on what this is supposed to look like.
Yeah,
so-
I don't think it looks white, and he doesn't think it looks metal. So
John
that's
is
what we
monkey
did.
sized.
And mine's little. Mine's a little one.
It's like his little hellfire.
I sized it to like the Revan mask, and it's not like that at all. But it's not. I mean, it's still. I don't know. Whatever. There it is.
Nice. That show looks so sick.
It looks
You guys-
great, man.
So I was thinking about this. Do you guys think that they moved the Bad Batch episodes around so that they could launch this on May 4? Because, like, that's what I've been hearing, people's popular opinion. But then also the episodes that we've been getting on Bad Batch, usually when they double up, it's because it's the same writer or it's one story arc or something.
It's a story arc. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's some thought that goes into it. They're not just randomly putting out
Full
stuff.
calendar too changes stuff, because also too, it would go right into May the 4th, right?
Yeah.
If they didn't do the double episodes, Bad Batch would go past May the 4th.
Right.
And they have a lot of stuff probably to be announced on May the 4th.
I think a couple things. I think they wanted
Give it its due.
Bad Batch to be done in time so that they could drop this on May the 4th and then announce something else.
Yeah.
That's a theory. We'll see.
There's a lot on the way.
I do like this new thing that they're doing. This is the first year they did the Imperial March when they sent Vader to New York. And that was to launch the, I guess, what would you call this, Remy? Like a publicity tour? Or like
Yeah, they called it the Imperial March, and I think that there were additional appearances that were taking place and content being recorded, getting ready for May 4th. I think May 4th is going to be a big deal this year.
Yeah, it's like Disney synergistic marketing, right? They're like, why capitalize on one day when we can capitalize on 3 months? We'll just march all the way to May.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff on the pipeline, right? Like we know there's a lot of stuff on the pipeline. So
I got to say, the shows, there's a lot of opinions on the shows from fans, but it seems like there's a large, anything animated is super successful. It's almost like a guarantee hit with animation right now. I mean, think about it. Everything we're getting, it's amazing. But then you pull out Andor, or you pull out the different seasons of Mandalorian or Book of Boba. Everybody's got Ahsoka. Everybody they're on different side. Kenobi. They're like, I don't know. It could have been this, or should have been this. A lot of opinion. I mean, there's opinions all over the place, but it seems like anything animated is just, everybody's just all into it. It's a great medium. It's so awesome.
I think it goes with what you keep talking about too, Joe, is the animated stuff's like weaving all the pieces together, the pieces of the puzzle together. And I think the majority of people that watch the animated are like all in, like they're fans, you know what I mean? Whereas like Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett, you're getting a broad spread of fandom.
That's fair. That's
where
true.
Animated, it's like, because I have a lot of like friends that are not as big of a fan as we are, but they're into it, you know. And I go, hey, if you watch Bad Batch, no, I don't know. And I'm like, dude, it's really good, you know. Clone Wars really good. Like,
they've evolved the animation so much over the years. I mean, if you go back and watch the original Clone Wars stuff and then look at what we're getting now with the Tales of the Jedi and Tales of the Empire, like that, it's just, they can, on a lower budget, on the animation budget, they can do anything. Like the cost is ridiculously different because like you don't have to work like the special effects. Like you want to make somebody fly, you just animate it. Like, and nobody's going to watch the animation and be like, oh, that didn't look convincing, because it's already animated. So some of the arguments that people have about the live action stuff, whether it was filmed with the volume versus live on a stage, or all that goes away with the animation. So in a way, it takes away so many complaints that we get about the shows, because
or the actors,
you
can't,
you can't complain about any of that. And the only thing that's left to complain about is, oh, well, it's animated. So,
well, and I mean, Bad Batch this season, it's like so far from a cartoon.
But even when you bring in like Visions, I mean, Visions is it's great on its own, dude.
Yeah,
it's awesome. It's all good. I love it. Well, yes, all of it. Drink it up.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
John, you look like you were going to jump in and say something.
I was muted, and then by the time I realized I was muted, whatever I was going to say had been said, so it was kind of
okay.
The moment's
I
done.
was making sure we weren't chomping over you.
I let it go. That's fine.
Okay, so again, 6 shorts drops on May 4th, so we'll be watching for that for sure.
Oh, they all drop at once?
Yes.
Some people are complaining about that style again, because that's how it always used to be, like Netflix style, where everything would drop at once. Like, boom, you had 10 episodes, and you would watch it at your discretion. And then all of a sudden, Disney popped up with The Mandalorian and other things where it was like once a week, and people got used to like, ooh, once a week. Like, let's sit there and Brian, I know you're a fan. I know your computer is too, but I was a fan of maybe I want to watch 2 episodes tonight. Like, why does the platform get to dictate how much I get to watch of something I've already paid for, type of thing, you know? In my
anticipation. Because anticipation, but it can add to.
But if you're into it already and you're like, dude, let's go one more. Like, it's late, but let's go one more. You know, like that anticipation is kind of nice too.
They can
and being like, go ahead, Jamie.
Sorry, no, and I didn't mean to interrupt, but they can control the buzz with a weekly episodic release. Like, people are talking about it every week, and people will kind of watch it when it comes out. Whereas you might want to binge watch 6 episodes in one night. I can't do that because I got to get up and go to work the next day.
You don't have to.
Now all of a sudden you and I can't talk about it until I've caught up 6 weeks from now or whatever.
We can talk up until you've watched. I mean,
it's a pain in the butt to do that. Yeah, no, that doesn't. That's great. That doesn't
it's
work.
Great on paper, sure. Yeah.
They're controlling the fans' experience at a very global level by doing it this way. And but their shorts are like 5 minutes long and that's it. So it's like 15 minutes. This whole thing's going to be like a half hour. So it's like one episode of anything else.
They did it with the Fallout show too, where they released all the episodes. I watched one, like with Steven, he watched one, but there's 10 or 9 or however many 8 or 9 episodes already lined up. They're good to go. But yeah. Go ahead.
I think the weekly release, it does make sense, John. For our episodic for our serialized shows, right? Where it's one storyline each week. But I also do think that dropping them all at the same time makes sense for shows like this, where it's you can watch each episode contained. So, let's say for instance, Joe watches the entire thing the moment it comes out, right? But his particular favorite episode is episode 3. Then he could tell Rami, who hasn't even started watching it yet, like, oh, dude, you got to watch episode 3 first.
Wait for episode 3, right?
Yeah.
Here's something too that you got to consider. So some people are on the fence when it comes to, like, say, Kenobi. People are like all about it, and some people are like, oh, I wish they would have went a different route. Got it, whatever. I think it's fair to say that when you watch it and you have to wait every week to watch one episode, it just hits different. You watch that one episode, and then you'll hear all kinds of opinions about that one episode. When you have a dump of all the episodes, when you don't have a dump, when you get all the episodes released at the same time and you binge watch, you don't have time to complain because you're enthralled and you're just watching the thing unfold. And it tells the story differently. You almost see it from a different angle when it's all unveiled. It's like you wouldn't watch maybe 30 minutes of a movie at AMC or whatever, and then walk out and then judge the movie off that and say, well, I wonder where they're going to go next. You watch the whole thing. It just hits different. And I'm sure the writers and producers weigh that in, because if you watch season 2 of The Bad Batch, we're all on the ride and like, oh, it's all about tech. Cool. Now that you know the ending, you go back and watch that show, it's got a whole different feel, dude. It's got a whole different feel. Yeah, it's crazy.
You will say that with it being out as well, though. You can watch it at your own pace. You don't have to binge it just because it's all there. You can
100%. Yep.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. If I'm a big company that owns a brand and I want to control the general buzz about that brand for a period of time, releasing it one episode a week will get me, over the course of 12 weeks, will get me 12 weeks worth of buzz. As opposed to subscriptions for at least 3 months there. If I drop it all at once, and think about this selfishly for our podcast, think like if they dropped Bad Batch all at once, what would our episode reviews look like?
Hold on,
we're going to do one a week, and then the guys on the other podcast are going to do like 6 episodes at one time, and they're going to get ahead of us, and now we're behind.
There's 2 sides of that coin, because also in the same vein, you might miss a week. Like, oh, you watched one episode, the buzz is kind of high. You get to the next week, you miss it. Oh, damn, I was working or whatever. You get to the next week again, the next one's on, and you might, and then all of a sudden you've missed 3 episodes, and you're like, like I'll watch that some other time. Like the buzz is kind of gone, even though it's still going. Episode 6, episode 7, episode, whatever. Like I've had that happen where it's just like, oh man, I missed an episode, or I missed 2. Now, damn, I'm about to miss a 3rd because I'm busy for whatever reason. So I don't know. Having them all available at once might be more convenient. I want to watch 2 tonight, or someone's coming over, they want to watch one. They didn't see the 3rd one. We'll go back and watch that one, or whatever. I don't know.
The week after you missed one, you've got 2 that you can. I mean, you always have the ability to catch up.
But if you don't have time, like you said, I don't have time to watch them all at once. Well, maybe you don't have time to watch them once a week either. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I think for these specifically, I didn't realize that these are shorts. That flew over my head. So the short thing, I don't care.
Makes sense.
All at once. But I think
That
just
you
in
could take a
things with
big dump.
massive epic storytelling. I think it's got it. I don't know, anticipation.
Yeah.
I just like the option.
So here's
For
the
sure,
big question.
I get that. Yeah.
Here's the real question that everybody in the chat wants to know. How are we going to review these episodes? Are we going to review them all at one time on May 5th, May 4th, whatever? Or are we going to review these episodes once a week?
Maybe we should let the listeners
Once
decide.
a week if we want. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be any different.
Isn't that what we
Talk
did with
about-
Visions? Didn't we do one a week with Visions?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
We did do that with Visions.
Stretch it out.
No reason to do it any different unless you want to change it up.
These come out May the 4th, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I think we did do one a week with Visions.
It looks cool. Thumbs up all the way around, I think. So
Yeah. Speaking of visions, the remember we were talking last week about what was the director's name of Godzilla?
possible live action.
Takashi.
Yeah, something like that.
That guy.
The director,
Yes.
the director of Godzilla, right?
that
They were
guy.
saying
So
that
disrespect.
he wants to work
Sorry,
with
sir.
Lucasfilm, and then he what was the news, Ramy? He ended up with a U.S. agency or something.
Yeah, he signed with a U.S. based agency recently. So, and
Well,
there's
I don't know,
there's
is-
speculation that that's an indicator that he's getting positioned to where he can work with the U.S. based production company.
Is Hiroyuki part of your news? Am I jumping ahead?
No. Nope. Go ahead.
Okay. So Hiroyuki Sanada, you probably know him as he's the lead actor in Shogun, the new miniseries. He also played Scorpion in the Mortal Kombat movie.
He's OG, man. He's been in a
He's
lot
a
of stuff.
good
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah.
So he's been going around like doing the publicity for Shogun, which is just it. I've only seen like part of the first episode, and it's immediately on my list because it's so good. But he's been going around saying that he wants to be in the Star Wars universe.
Hell yeah.
Like he doesn't care. He's like, just put me in Star Wars.
Just put me in,
And
coach.
so like, dude,
Give me a
I'm like,
lightsaber.
he- after seeing like just a little bit of Shogun, like get Takashi, get Hiroyuki, and make live action Visions. I'm gonna like freaking start a hashtag or something like for this, because like 2 weeks in a row for this live action possibility, I want to see Ronin live action. I want it. What was the name
That
of
would be
the girl with the lightsaber umbrella? Imagine seeing that in live action. Oh my gosh.
That'd be pretty sweet.
I'm
That's
down.
it.
They get into like her character's got names and everything. There's a book.
Yeah.
Keep telling
Yeah.
everybody, read it. It's good. Okay, my last bit of news. So the Outlaws video game. So we got a trailer, which we'll show here in a second. We also got a release date. So I guess we're gonna start that. I was just gonna go through the bullet points real quick. So honestly, we can
You
talk
can do
over
it through the trailer.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
way
exactly.
we don't get our YouTube shut down. Yeah.
Exactly. So
No.
this is gonna drop on August 30th.
Dude,
The first
look at your
game's
face.
a little much.
And we need a little ticker of the number of times they say underworld in this because I love it.
That's Ricky Gervais.
Look at that.
Yes.
No, it just looks like him a little bit.
Might as well be.
I was about to say.
It's not actually him, obviously.
Is it his voice or?
I mean, it's
No,
a
not at
video
all.
game.
It just looked like him a
Okay.
little bit.
It's a video game, but that fur coat's a little.
It should be
the fur
him.
cape is a little
Yeah.
much.
So I'm
Look at
getting like Book of Boba Fett vibes from
Yeah, Syndicate.
Yeah, because the whole
Lady Han?
Dino and yeah,
girl.
Lady
who-
Han, dude.
Lady
Yeah.
Han, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
spot on. I mean,
What
It's-
was
it-
the
belt rig,
Twin sister.
what's the new
Han.
system, Brian?
get
The
up.
new formula?
Dude, they look like toaster ovens on their head. What's up with that?
Han Solo had a sister.
And what else? What are more of her characteristics?
I don't think he gets a lot of screen time in this, but that commando droid that's wearing the trench coat, I love his look.
That guy's from Red Dead Redemption.
There's
yeah,
Batu,
there.
right? That was Batu, or no?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd got to go back and look at my notes from when. So I went to that panel that they did at Comic-Con last year for this, and
that's
they
right.
they created some new planets specifically for the game, and like a lot of the game takes place on those planets.
I love the time. I mean, the little
There's
Han
Nick.
Solo and Carbonite. That's kind of sick. Like,
I
That's
wonder,
really
so
sick.
is this
Deep-
because of the time period? Is this gonna tie in with War of the Bounty Hunters at all? I mean, it does, right? Because Kira's in there.
Yeah,
With
Carbonite.
Carbonite.
Kira's in here, so obviously Han's in Carbonite, so we know what time this takes place in. Kira's there, and specifically, I guess that the actress that did all the hosts is muted.
No, we're good. We're fine.
The actress that played Kira in the films does not have anything to do with Kira's performance in the game. It's not her. So
yeah, it's not her voice.
Ah.
Correct.
That's cool.
But
Well, I do know that the underworld detachment of the 501st Legion is basically with this getting their own video game. Because any character in this, you're gonna have the full turnarounds.
Is eligible,
to make the costume.
Yeah.
Death Troopers.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
So
there wasn't any gameplay in that trailer, but
no, it's all cinematic stuff. That Kessel Run, that Kessel Runner bonus pack that they showed there at the end is like a little bonus thing. So I think you get that, and you get additional cosmetics for your speeder, and there's a different starship that you get called the Trailblazer. And then you can get the game 3 days early if you get the Gold or Ultimate Edition, which will include the base game and the season pass. So is it an online game? Like, what is the season pass?
The season pass is a yearly connection to
what though?
The service. Yeah, I don't know. There might be something online, maybe updates or like DLC packs or something. I don't know.
I don't know. All the text that I've got here was straight off the Ubisoft listing on YouTube for the game trailer. So,
I know when we first talked about this game launching, there wasn't any like solid info on the gameplay, but it seems that there's absolutely no talk of multiplayer in here.
There's not going to be multiplayer, bro.
And I mean, I was really excited
with that.
Like, I was really excited to create like our own like guild, or like maybe we all join like different crime syndicates or something.
In a perfect.
You want to start your own speeder bike game?
That would be awesome. Yeah.
I want to start my own Vespa, Skittle Vespa gang.
Unlock 2 additional narrative expansion. Yeah, see, it's just more levels. Like it's not. It's like Jedi Survivor.
Little cute
Jedi Fallen Order.
Nick,
and you unlock more players that probably join you, and you know.
I don't need my droid in a trench coat. I'm just saying.
Nix is a Merkwall and Kay's best friend.
Nix is
shout out to Nix, because Nix is voiced by our buddy D. Bradley Baker.
Yeah, of course it is.
And
robots and trench coats, man. Come on,
Blade Runner.
I'm throwing the
gun belt on too.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Why wouldn't he?
Droids can get cold.
He does it eagerly. I'm throwing down the gauntlet, and I'm gonna say that Raimi needs to build ND5.
No, I don't. I have no desire to
said no straight off the bat.
No.
He didn't even let you finish.
I have no desire to build a droid that I can't actually like make move around, and I'm not making.
No, you have to wear
life size. No,
like the way Darren does. No way.
Oh man.
No, you know, like the way how Grievous, you know, how General Grievous, he's like in the coat. You can just put the droid parts on you.
No, I wouldn't be able to do it to my standards. So
just wear a trench coat and say you're the droid.
Exactly. That's as close as
Jalen.
I think D. Bradley Baker does the voice of Jabba.
Slero. Jalen Brax.
It's a Game of Thrones looking robe there with the fur.
Yeah, Slurro's looking a little. The fur cape is,
boots with the
is it like a Wookiee? Is it like a Wookiee pelt or something?
His cape, I get Carl Weather vibes from his cape.
With the chain, yeah.
The magistrate, yeah.
High magistrate, dude. Get it right. High, dude. High magistrate.
Jalen Vrax looks like Brian's going out like for a night on the town with his cape.
Yeah. I slick my hair back like that sometimes.
It's got Han Solo a little bit with a cape.
He's got some swagger.
Han Solo with Lando's cape.
She looks cool, man. I dig her design. Lady Solo, man. It's kind of sick.
Slow-lo.
Oh, TK is just.
Look at the restraining bolt. The restraining bolt on this dude's chest.
Hell yeah, keep that droid in check.
Oh, I thought it was cold. Never mind.
Look at her. Wait, go back to look at Nyx. Go back to the last image. Nyx is like the TK is like
I got Ravi to laugh.
Nyx.
Yeah.
His name is Nyx
Nick.
That's what I said. Nyx.
with an N.
Yeah.
Nyx.
Nyx. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Nyx.
Well,
Got him.
we got Joe over here talking about the droid being cold and stuff. So
Well, that was at two restraining bolts. They're sticking out pretty far.
They were cold. What do you know about shrinkage?
It's like 30 degrees.
that is it for the news.
We've done these 1,000 times, boys. You know what to do.
When have we ever followed orders?
Alrighty, full spoilers ahead. This week's episode review is for The Bad Batch, season 3, episode 12, titled Juggernaut. With an original Disney Plus air date of April 10th, 2024. This episode was directed by Stuart Lee, written by Ezra Nachman, story editor Matt Miknovitz, with music by Kevin, Sean, and Deanna Kiner. With a Disney Plus description, Emery confronts the dark secrets behind Hemlock's scientific research. In this episode, we get, of course, D. Bradley Baker returning as the Bad Batch, Batcher and Commander Scorch. Michelle Ang as Omega. Ben Diskin is back as AZ3, also as an Imperial driver, Imperial Tech. Jimmy Simpson back as our favorite Dr. Royce Hemlock. And Matt Wood back as a stormtrooper. Keisha Castle Hughes back as Emery Carr. And of course, Nashir the Law back as our favorite Admiral, no longer Admiral, Rampart, bearded Rampart.
Bearded Rampart specifically.
Yeah.
Bart. That's what it is.
He's taking
Bart.
the callous route.
Just gonna call him Bart.
Was a bad guy. Everybody hated him. Disappears for all. Comes back with a beard, and everybody loves him.
Let's go around the table and get everyone's initial reactions and opinions on the show. Let us
Rampart.
start with Rampart. Let's start with John. What'd you think of this week?
It was good. It's not fresh in my head. I watched it yesterday, and then I started doing other stuff and watching other things. But I see what they're doing in the episode. I see where they're going with it. This might have been like an Adventure Time episode, like Brian might say, a little bit, But obviously necessary. They need to find a way to get to where they're going, and that seems like a logical way, Yeah. I think it's good. Yeah, it's continuing the story. I'm excited for next week, to be honest. So it's moving along.
It's moving along, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, Joe. What did you think of this week's episode?
I liked it. I liked it when Fee was doing that maneuver to sneak past, getting detected around that planet. She kind of looked like she basically shut the ship down as it's entering the atmosphere.
Dove in, yeah.
I just like no engines, no nothing, and then turn the engines on right at the very end. And I loved how she kind of pulled up as Crosshair and Hunter and Wrecker jumped out at the very, just kind of like stepped off. It was just really cool, that little maneuver. I geek out on that kind of stuff. I love seeing the ships and the various vessels flying. It's just
Kim in the chat called it the fee fall.
The fee fall.
It was a fee fall.
Tech turn and fee fall. Love that. Good call it, Kim.
Fee fall.
Yeah. And then just seeing the Juggernauts, like that's a rad vehicle. And then see our boys inside, and then Wrecker getting on the gun. Dude, I love action. I'm just up all day for that stuff. It's just rad. It was
the head-on scene.
It was like I consider this episode like fun, bite size. Like when you have that really good appetizer, and it's like hitting, you're like, oh yeah, it's coming.
This week was an amuse-bouche, a palate cleanser.
There you go.
Because the 2 episodes last week, those were pretty heavy.
They were heavy.
Very heavy.
Right.
Very heavy. But this is building, and
I have a strong opinion.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Oh, okay, bro.
No, let's hear it.
Let's hear it, Brian.
It's not my turn.
Go ahead, Brian. The
Is it
floor
my
is
turn?
yours.
Okay, so I actually thought this episode was super heavy. Number one, in the beginning, with Omega coming off with CX, whatever. Hemlock seemed very he was very anxious, nervously excited. His voice kind of cracked early on too. He was like, okay, you're here. Cool.
Nervously excited.
He's he's got this mission, and here she is. Omega's extremely calm through the whole thing and kind of sucked and absorbing it all in. I thought it was interesting that he was just telling her everything that they're doing, this is what we're doing. This is how this works. I found that super interesting. And then they roll into coming up with Fee and entering into the planet to start that mission to get Rampart. And here's where I really, and I'm just gonna jump ahead because there's all kinds of details. I'm with Joe. The Juggernauts, when Wrecker's like, I get the gun and he's shooting. I mean, that head-on scene when they're coming at each other, I was on the edge of my seat. But this was a heavy mission of the boys together, getting it done. When she flew in to pick them up and they were all scrambling to jump on the ship. And I know we had seen this in the trailer, but it was dude, this is what they do. This is old mission time of what they do. And that I got this whole scene right here. I was super stoked at it. I just thought it was such a throwback to what the Bad Batch is when he chucked the dude up on the thing and
Rampart.
And this
my
part
favorite
here.
That was my favorite part of the whole episode.
Yeah.
When he literally throws him up there like a rat.
It happened so fast. If you blink, you miss it. But it was funny.
And then Wrecker jumps, and it's Hunter.
Dude, I was
crosshairs holding.
There was
on
a
the
second
Hunter.
where you thought
I was worried for Wrecker. I'm like, oh no.
There was a
but
split
they're
second
all
where you.
holding each other, which was, dude, the boys. They're
It's like Washington crossing the Delaware with all the boys.
Yeah. So, and then the last two things is Fee meeting Crosshair. Oh, I've heard all about you. A friend of Brown Eyes Tech told me all about you. A friend of Brown Eyes is a friend of mine.
Told me all about your sparkling personality.
That was freaking cool. You know what I mean? And then lastly, stupid thing, because I'm weird like that, mini Crosshair gun. Him just running around with his gun without the barrel on it. I mean, his whole gun transforms, it extends and does all this stuff, but he was running through a bunch of this episode with his gun in this short mode, which
I didn't even realize that.
Stubby.
And my gun does that. So my fire puncher does that. So I'm gonna just run around with the barrel off.
So it's more like a carbine than a sniper rifle. Then,
yeah,
right?
more like a carbine. Yeah, there it is, right there.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool. And mine does that. So
there you go. You're ready.
And I just came from a con where, that thing's a lot to
and you can put it back in the backpack, right?
Dude, remember in London, wasn't Kim carrying the barrel for you or something like that?
I think she did when it was in my pack because I'll put the thing in my pack. Because a lot of times when it gets tight, I'm trying to hold that thing up and not hit anybody, and it's a lot to whip around.
Dude, and they shot those TKs right when they just got saying, "We never see any action."
Totally.
Hunter,
so I don't know. I felt like this episode was,
I liked it.
They keep coming back together. Omega kind of learning as to what's going on. I mean, there's only 2 more episodes left, so
3.
I think it's
3.
I'm hoping the next 2 are.
So it's 1 next week and then 2 more finale.
Is it 16 episodes or 15? Oh yeah, so 13, 14, 15.
Yes,
we have 3 episodes
3
left.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really loved that whole scene of them working together. Just old school Bad Batch, man.
I think it just felt short. That was probably my only complaint. It was
a very short. Yeah.
It felt short. even though it's only like maybe like a.
But they shoved a lot in. Omega's back on there. She's getting locked up with the kid. They explained everything that's happening there.
This is your new home. Yeah.
You know, these dudes had to go on a pretty heavy mission. You know, they got reconnected with V. Like if you go down the list of like everything that happened, it's like, oh, whoa, actually, a lot.
There's a lot of stuff progressing, right? Everything is kind of falling into place.
I was wondering how this interaction was going to be. If it was going to be super contentious.
I was nervous. Yeah. When Hunter was walking up in there, I was like, oh man, what's gonna happen right now? Like, are we gonna get just classic Hunter and Crosshair like blaming each other and you know all kinds of things?
I'm so glad they didn't do that.
Yeah. Wrecker made
I was actually surprised that Crosshair and you had mentioned something about this much earlier in tonight's show, Joe, and I didn't want to jump forward to this, but I'm surprised with the not the maturity, the growth that we've seen with Crosshair, because any other time Crosshair would have been like, you know, like what we just said, but he actually took the orders that Omega gave him last week that he initially was complaining about to Omega's face, right? But he's actually telling Hunter, no, this was the only way to do. Like he's actually defending her orders.
Yeah, not
Hunter.
like she wanted to do it. Like
defending her judgment. Yeah.
I'm like, for me, Joe, you had mentioned the season 2 arc, the story arc of Tech, right? Like we got all these like little snippets every week of the relationship with Tech and Omega to the ultimate, ending of that season. Man, like the amount of character building and storytelling they're doing for Crosshair this season. No diss to any Tech fans out there, but this is on another level than with Tech. Like this is showing like I really feel like Crosshair is probably the deepest written character that we get on the show.
I would agree with you. And we kind of talked about this in the past a little bit, a couple episodes back about obviously I love Tech, right? And a lot of people love Tech. The sacrifice is what made it incredible. Yeah. Tech sacrifice. But that's not what the show's about. The show's about Omega.
Yeah.
And who she is and how important she is and how all the Bad Batch as a squad make this impression on her, and she becomes far better than she would have on her own if she was stuck on Camino, right? So there's that. And then the development of Crosshair. I think you're 100% right. It's a completely different person from the Clone Wars when we first see them stepping off the Havoc Marauder, looking at Rex for the first time, right? That is a complete night and day. That's all he was just this rude sharpshooter that didn't like clones, liked to be alone, just did his thing, and just it's all about the mission, it's all about the guys, whatever. And now he's like a dad. Like he's basically become the dad. He's replaced Hunter in that sense.
But I don't even think it's that. I mean, Omega's becoming the leader.
100%. Right? But I mean, like, but he's more thoughtful. He's thinking about her
big
and the
picture.
Squad.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. He's willing to go to Tantus. He's willing to do.
Yeah.
He was
because of her
first.
That's because they're family. Yeah. That's and I don't. Yeah. I disagree. I agree with a lot of what you guys are saying, but I also disagree a little bit. I don't think she's becoming a leader. I think she's just growing into her own character.
Her own. Yeah.
Yeah, because at first she was just a little kid that they had to look out for, and now she's, coming up with really good ideas and helping, legitimately doing things that they might not have been able to do or whatever. And I feel like Crosshair, for example, is actually starting to respect her and see her as because it's not an adult to kid thing. It's more like a soldier to soldier, or more like a compatriot, or someone you share, I guess, I don't know, these experiences with. It's not like they're babysitting. It's like she's part of the team, and he is seeing that, and he's with it. But but yeah, and I feel like the show is not necessarily just about her, but obviously it's about a lot of things. But I think it's them getting through it and coping with the loss of their brother, and still going back to save her for the second or third or however many time they've had to, and still going, and and Crosshair coming back and trusting him again, because it's all about forgiveness and doing more and being better every day.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, they alienated him so much in the
entire
last
season
season,
too.
right?
The entire season, yeah.
He wasn't even there,
because he decided not to be with them.
So
Yeah, it
there's
was
so
his-
much redemption.
his
There's so
choice.
much change. There's so much like development going
He
on
like
there.
suffered in his head, I think.
Yeah. It's cool
The
when
prison was
on
not
episode 15 when they pull the chip out. That'll be cool.
Yeah, pull your chip out.
Rami, what'd you think?
I like this incarnation of Crosshair better than any other moment of his that we've seen on screen. Like they've given us more character growth with his character from where we first saw him to where he is now. And of course they had to tear him so far down to establish that, to bring him back up. But it makes it impactful.
But that's why Star Wars is great. It's about redemption stories, man. Star Wars is all about redemption stories. People die, got it. But how do you die? That's really pivotal.
Yeah. I'm glad that they didn't drag out angst between Wrecker and Hunter and Crosshair over Omega getting away. Like
they accepted the problem and went for a solution.
It would have been so easy to dwell on it, and it would have been very formulaic, and that's not what we've come to.
It would have dragged on,
to get from this show. That they do such a good job not falling into those traps. So I don't think everything that we saw with Omega was just us following Omega, seeing things that we already knew.
Right.
Like her whole little plot line through this was nothing new to us as the viewer, but she hadn't seen all these details yet. So now, like the one episode that we got that was just Emery and the kids, right? Like there was no Bad Batch in it at all. Now Omega's caught up to that too. So she knows all of that same stuff that now we do.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think? I mean, I don't want to get into theories, but where do you think this is going to go? Right? Like they're going to go to Tantus eventually? Do you think it's going to be like No Way Out, One Way Out type thing with all the clones kind of getting out, released at the same time, uproar, maybe getting Omega off, but the Bad Batch have to stay behind, and then over like I don't know, like World War III, everybody dies, but she takes off. What do you think that's what's going to happen, or man? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know that all the clones are gonna. I don't think any of those Republic commandos are gonna go the way of the clones. I think they haven't given us any reason to believe that there's a chance that they can come around.
Yeah, they're gonna duke it out, probably, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we still got.
Only got an hour.
Rex, Wolf, Cody, Gregor,
Hauser.
That's for the next show, guys. Come on, we know that. None of that's getting solved.
Is it going to be about the clones?
Well, I mean, I'm sure the Ventress thing. She'll probably run into Rex and Wolf and Gregor at some point, because their story from here to Rebels, there's still a huge chunk,
massive chunk.
Yeah, it's like 30 years or something or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. We might not get anything.
I mean, there's room for it, but yeah, we might not.
Did you not think they show up? Do we not think? I mean, Echo shows up. Did he just show up by himself?
What would be cool is if they don't.
Oh, they will show up for sure.
That leaves room for something else in the future.
I'd love to see Cody show up with them. Yeah. I think the clones will show up, and there's going to be a battle. For the Battle of Tantus or something.
That's what I was wondering, right? Like the clones get let out of prison somehow, and then all the commandos and everybody just goes at it, and somehow Omega has to sneak out of there with Emery. Maybe maybe Emery's the one that unlocks everything.
It could be identity crisis. I mean, because that could be another moment, right? Like when Crosshair ran into the CX. And the CX was like, what's up? Like Cody could show up and look at Crosshair and be like, and it could be another moment of redemption or reflection or whatever we want to call that.
Dude, I'm willing to bet it's going to be Omega and those kids that escape, and that's
there's the new Bad Batch.
no, well, those imprisoned Jedi, those sorry, not Jedi, but Force sensitive kids. She's going to pull them off planet. That's going to be her task, is get them off planet, save them. That's what she does.
When you say she, you mean
Omega.
Omega, yeah. And I think Ventress will come back into play there.
Yep. Yeah, maybe help
them on the path.
Ventress is looking for Force sensitive people, but not for the same reasons that the Empire.
Omega, and these specific kids are gonna.
Yeah.
You know how she gets when she sees something, she has to run towards justice and towards, like, freaking saving Batcher. Like, she'll run towards what the right thing.
So, I have this like headcanon prediction that I talked about last week or the week before, where I think that by the end of the show we're gonna see them split. I think we're gonna see Omega go off and do her own thing, which is the hardest thing for any adolescent child to do, is to go off on their own.
Yep.
And it's also the hardest thing for any father to do, right? Is to let their children go. So I think we're gonna see the Bad Batch, or whoever's left from the batch or from the clones. I think we're gonna see them, go in one direction, and we have to find a place for these people in the galaxy. And oh my gosh, dude, if we get an Omega storyline with her and the Force sensitive kids, that might actually like fulfill all the check boxes, because I don't personally like the storyline that people want of Omega having the Force. But if she's assisting, if she's assisting the Force sensitive people go on the path or whatever, give me that. Dude, I'm there.
And I think we're headed that way, because I feel like the start of this, when she's like getting taught all the M count stuff, is pretty clear that, I mean, they said it, right? It's like, well, her blood just helps bridge the gap. So I think we're safe on that. I don't think we're going down the path of her having the Force.
I don't think she has the Force. Her blood binds with Force sensitive blood or something, like that.
She's a special. She's got something different.
She's got something that others don't. Yeah, her mutation or whatever has to do with that.
And I love that, Steven. That's cool.
We need Omega to just survive at least. What is this? 19 BBY that we're in? Because it's just the creation of the Empire, right? So we're 19 BBY. We need her to survive at least 19 years,
Star Wars,
so that she can hook up with Palpatine and then become Rey's mom. So
that's Rey's mom. Say hi.
Rey's mom. Yeah, that's right. That's true.
Say hi.
That's cool, Steven. I like that.
Good theory.
Let's write it.
Let's
do it. Let's do it. Let's just do it.
End of 18 BBY. Okay.
Oh my gosh,
I'll start storyboarding it.
End of 18 BBY. Okay. So we need
probably 17, 18. Yeah.
So
is that Star Wars years?
Before the Battle of Yavin, BBY.
Yeah, before Yavin, and then after
Before
Battle
Yavin.
Toy.
Yep.
This one, the robot.
That's the best.
Is that robot?
Yes.
I love it.
Cool. Next
We
week's
need a segment for
episode.
Amy.
Next week's episode is episode 13, Into the Breach, and you guys are not gonna want to miss next week's episode.
Breach of what?
Into the breach.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Careful.
That's all I can say.
Why? Do you know something?
I know nothing.
Into the bleach? Is that what you said?
Into the Bleach.
Okay.
They land on they land on the planet Tide Pod, and
Planet Tide Pod. Yeah.
Don't eat it.
And they accidentally eat it. No.
Don't eat it. Don't eat those kids.
It's so heavy. There's only a few left, dude. It's almost over.
You'll be okay. You'll be okay.
For your information, the stinger of a Yalbek queen is a delicacy on some planets.
Hey, so the question I have is back to making stuff, because that's kind of what we do, right? Hobby. How would you say you've evolved over the years in costume creation? How have you evolved?
Maybe a little bit with the technology, with the way technology has progressed. Go baby. Because at one point we were all doing FDM prints, and
man.
that was the standard, and that's what everyone was doing. And then when resin printers came out, we kind of hopped on a little on that too. What's that? Yeah, screens. Yeah. That's how much we've progressed. Yeah, putting computers in our things. But I think I just think with technology and even qualities of paint, because everyone starts out with rattle cans or acrylic paint, brushes, and if you have the opportunity to try something new that is a little different, you do, and you gain new skills. And I think that might have been, there was a craze for a while with all the Alumoluster, and because the Mandalorian was like this amazing paint, and everyone wanted to replicate that, and so there was like a wave of everyone doing Alumoluster, and which is awesome. I love that stuff. And
but you won't FDM print though anymore, right? Because I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like there's certain things you won't do anymore.
It's not that I wouldn't. I don't own an FDM printer anymore, so I haven't done an FDM. Like my Helldiver helmet that I got here, Steven had to FDM print the dome for me because I don't have a printer. So I asked him to do it. But so it's not like I won't work on stuff, but I prefer not to. If I can get it in resin,
that's what I mean. That. Yeah, you've evolved. Like, you're looking at more finer details and just certain things. Right?
It's not necessarily finer details. It's just yeah, you just save time on certain things. You're not gonna like, you enjoy the sanding, so maybe you might not. You don't want to do the thing, but resin for me, I feel like it's closer to a finished product, so you can focus more on the paint rather than the body shop work. And that's what I like to do personally. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I think when I first started, I was very particular about. I mean, I think when I built my first Stormtrooper, it took me so long because I was like, oh, gotta cut right here. And now I'm just in a flurry. Now I'm just how can I do this as fast as possible?
10-foot rule, or what do you say? 6-foot rule,
100-foot rule,
10-foot rule. And I joke that 10-foot rule, but you can get up close to my stuff, and it's usually pretty good. So, but
Steven.
Usually,
get out of here,
dude. I agree with Brian. I think the way that my making has evolved is that when I first started, much like Brian with his Stormtrooper, when I first started with costume making, I was putting so much pressure on myself on every single piece of the costume.
Yeah.
Whereas now, I don't know if it's just experience or laziness or what, but now
it's experience for sure.
Now, well, thanks, but now it's just I know exactly what I need to do to sell the look, to convey what I'm trying to sell, right? So, like, for instance, just as an example, our Ted Lasso costumes, right?
The hair, it was so good.
Well, yeah, I can't grow the hair, but the Ted Lasso costumes, we're just trying to simply convey a look, right? We're just trying to sell a look. So for that, we just grab some cheap Amazon costumes, right? But my custom Mando, or my Paz Vizsla or something, I'm getting machined aluminum parts. Joe, you're getting all your rubberized Boba stuff, but then there's also costumes like John's saying where like the Helldiver stuff, right? It's just something you're super excited about. You want to get it on as soon as you can. You don't want it to look like it's made out of some inferior material or something. You want to sell the look, like this is legit, this is real. So I don't know, it's just, I guess, think about what you want to accomplish with wearing the costume, right? Are you trying to just sell the look and have fun, Are you trying to like be super like realistic? Like this is what it would look like in real life? I don't know.
I can get down with that.
Raimi, how have you evolved?
I mean, I've added skills to the mix, things that like I couldn't do. There's so much that I can do now that I couldn't do 10 years ago when I started doing this. You know, I still have. In fact, I just bought a new FDM printer not that long ago. In fact, the Echo helmet that I showed off earlier was the first thing that I printed on the new printer. So I add skills to the mix. I don't necessarily take them away. My sewing has gotten better. My painting has gotten better. Like you keep practicing, you keep honing the skills, and you get better. And like I'll go back and look at costumes that I built years ago, and I mean, like, God, this thing sucks. I could do so much better on this now, and I'm allowed to critique my own stuff. And so it's always just a culmination. There are some costumes that I probably will at some point start to go back and redo. I'll probably go back and build a new Boba Fett at some point, just because.
That's right.
Because I could do, I believe that I could do so much better than what I had done on the original one. Now,
what was your jetpack made out of again?
Like foam core, you know, like the science project backing board stuff. Like my jetpack was made out of.
Still blows my mind.
And you never knew all those years.
I probably put that on your back like 75 times, maybe more, and if you had told me it wasn't made like anything other than a professionally made jetpack, I wouldn't have believed you.
There were a couple pieces that were resin cast, like the little rocket nozzles, and then the missile thing on the top. But the rest of it was PVC pipe.
You sold the look.
But yeah, so I gotten sharpening the knives, so I'm just getting better.
That's cool. Thanks, guys, for sharing that. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been building as long as you guys have, 2.5 years or so, almost 3 maybe now. Yeah, I was tempted to do the Boba and FDM, or but yeah,
you wanted something different.
Yeah, it's something different. I mean, polyurethane, dude, like rubber. It's kind of.
You're gonna do front rolls in it.
Heck yeah.
It's flexible resin. It's not quite rubber. That's the same stuff that I had for the shoulders and stuff. It's like it feels.
I'm just calling it what they told me it is,
and that's what the helmets are made of. Yeah, it's like resin, plastic.
You can do a cartwheel.
You could do a cartwheel.
Yeah, it's like a gummy bear.
You know, we talk about Alumoluster all the time, like because it's what they obviously it's for those that don't know, it's what they used on the Mandalorian helmet. But John, I'm curious. Do you know what they used? Do you know what Alumoluster was used for before that?
Yeah. Well, I don't know all of the things it we used for, but I think it was an industry standard metallic paint from like the mid 2000s or 2010s maybe going forward. So that all the Iron Man movies are Alumoluster. I think Iron Man 2 was the first one to use Alumoluster. And then after that, it's all the Marvel movies, all the metallic things in the Marvel movies, all the weapons, all the Loki staff and all that, the hammer and all the shield, all that stuff is.
It kind of feels like us as makers, cosplayers. I feel like we are at not the mercy, but we're just kind of like at the feet of these giants in the industry. Because they come up with like all these new products and all these new techniques and things, and then it trickles down, to us where it's now like you've literally got a fabricator in their garage at Chrome and Go
using the same
exact same products, techniques, materials, like tools, everything.
Yeah. Well, I think also we're lucky to sort of have that guy, Sam, close to us within arm's reach, because we can talk to him and be like, yo, I'm interested in doing something like this. And he'd be like, all right, try this out or see if you like this. Or it's not like something that's completely out of reach. We're like, I don't know how to get that stuff. It's like, no, you can talk to the guy. He's really cool. He's a nice guy.
Raimi, has there ever been an instance where it's been reversed, where the industry has taken techniques or materials or anything from cosplayers?
Oh gosh, I mean, I'm certain of it. So you're muted, John.
Sorry, I was gonna say you can post that photo you just talked about. Does the industry ever take from cosplayers?
The
You tell me.
The trading cards?
Yeah, I don't know.
I disconnected it from the StreamYard, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're starting to see cases where the industry turns to the cosplay community for characters and background things and stuff like that. Like when they need stormtroopers for the Mandalorian or whatever, like they come to the 501st. When there is an increasing recognition, and it's grown exponentially in the last few years. There's increasing recognition by the industry of what's being done by the hobbyists, and we're starting to see that gap between like, oh, the industry's way up here and everybody's just striving to be like them. We're starting to see that playing field level out, and there's mutual respect in both directions.
And the thing is also just to include a lot of the fans and the cosplayers are now working for the studios or working for these places that might have shunned the cosplayer before, but now they're like, oh damn, like these people know what's up. Like I think there's a dark cloud over the word cosplay in general. Like people think it's like what kids do, or like the word play might be giving it a negative connotation, but compared to like a costumer, because we basically do the same thing in essence. We're curating costumes. Even if we don't make everything, we still have to know who to talk to get this piece to fit on that, because that's what I do with my Mandos. I don't make all the stuff. Half the stuff I don't make, but I still have to put it together. I have to find what fits and what works, and if something doesn't work, and you still have to put all those puzzle pieces together. So it's the same job essentially, except we're paying for one and they're getting paid for the other. So
without naming names and or getting anybody in trouble, there are absolutely scenarios where conversations have been held with like well-known company calls up, hobbyist, says, hey, noticed you've been posting a lot of stuff on Instagram lately. We might be able to use your talents. So
you heard that, everybody. Stay ready. Make sure you're always putting your best foot forward, and maybe you'll work on a Star War.
Maybe
there are eyes watching.
Always.
Is there an echo in here?
Yes.
What?
I'm Echo.
So we had the eclipse the other day. So I'll never forget the solar eclipse. It'll forever be seared into my mind and retinas. I really should have worn glasses. But thankfully, someone created an online resource for everyone who suffered retinal damage watching the solar eclipse. It truly is a sight for sore eyes.
Yeah. Okay. I was wondering where the punchline was. My goodness.
How fast is milk?
How fast?
How fast is milk?
It's past your eyes before you know it.
That was a good one. Oh, that was a good one. It's past your eyes before you know it. My God.
What do you call a dinosaur fart?
Dust? I don't know.
What do you call it, Steven?
It's a blast from the past.
Is there an echo in here?
Yes.
What?
I'm Echo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What do you hold on, what do you call a cat that likes to swim?
What?
An octopus.
My goodness.
Well, I think that's going to do it for us today, guys. If you enjoyed listening, beat the algorithm and leave a review on your podcast app. Be sure to include a cake emoji. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. Just subscribe and you can be entered to win an Alpha Ignition helmet of your choice, casted by the Dad Batch and painted by Joe, Lara. You can follow me at Stevie.Kicks on Instagram, sometimes X on Threads. Gentlemen, let the listeners know where they can find you, Brian.
Tech.badbatch. Go there and tell him happy birthday.
Yeah.
No, don't.
Do it.
You.
Put
Or
an
post a
onion
picture of-
emoji.
Post your favorite picture and tell him happy birthday.
So many DMs, dude.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
Well, don't DM him. Just like post on one of his pictures.
Just comment. Boost that
Comment.
algorithm.
Go back to one of Joe's oldest photos and comment on it.
Yes.
Happy
Go
birthday.
way back. Scroll. It only takes a couple minutes. Like this. Just like this.
Just
I hold my phone like this with my pinky, and I just go.
John, where can people find you?
at tech.badbatch. Comment happy birthday on his post. Doesn't matter which one, just do it. It'll make his day.
Right on. Raimi, where can listeners find you?
You can find me in the comments section of tech.badbatch Instagram feed.
Good spin.
You guys are
Good
silly.
spin. Good spin.
And Joe.
Deleting comments.
Where can listeners find you, Joe?
You can find me at DadBatchPod on Instagram. And
Ooh.
all the boys.
Nice. Thank you again, everybody, for listening to episode 87 of the Dad Batch podcast. Be sure to tune in next week for episode 88 miles an hour. And until next time, enjoy your spice responsibly.